Welcome to the Prairie Lights Invitational U.S. Rules Croquet Tournament held in the first summer of the COVID, hosted at the lovely home and croquet court of Mickey Huttenhoff and Ronnie Summers in Manhattan, Illinois. This is block play between Walt Janitz at a handicap of 0.5 and Russ Dilley at 3.5. Walt and I have played a lot because he's from Indianapolis and we play on my home court. Does everybody know that the 36 inches from the hoop to the ball is to the front of the ball, not the center of the ball? It's pretty clear on the diagram in the rule book, but I'm not sure how many people pay any attention to it. Obviously, I went in first. I did win the toss. I don't usually choose red when I win the toss. And it's basically either corner 1 or corner 4, depending on how intimidated I am by my opponent. Walt Janitz lives in Indianapolis, but I actually met him here at Mickey's place in Illinois. When he quit playing 25 years ago, his handicap was 0.5. That in an era when the lowest handicap was probably -2. He's still in the process of regaining his form, but it's great to have somebody to play against at home who can make me pay for my mistakes. An hour. You're probably familiar with the digital deadness board by now. Labeling the columns as new, it may be a bit much, but it helps me think about the importance of different kinds of deadness. Yellow, of course, is not in the game yet. With black so ready to come in, this is a pretty aggressive maneuver. Red was just off the approach line to the hoop, and I didn't want to take the chance of hitting the hoop by a shot at red. That's not his standard pre-shot routine. Awesome placement from so far away. There's a rush to his hoop or a rush to attack. And ordinarily, I would take this rush to hoop 4. That's why I put these balls so far back. But I didn't want to end up with the ball left out at hoop 4 when he's got a dolly rush to hoop 3. I'm playing an 11-inch Dave Trimmer travel mallet with my wraps on it. I also put a Turk's head knot on the end so I can rest that against my top hand and I don't have to hold the mallet so tightly that way. I knew I was going to leave black there and not get dead on it because red and yellow have no useful rush anyplace. Didn't get quite close enough to take the chance on hoop 6 though. Walt usually casts about 3 times before he puts the mallet down. Assuming he was going to do that, that was not a fault. If he wasn't going to do that, then it was. Red's for 3, yellow is for 2. Blue is for 6 and black is for 2. Most of you probably know, but for those who don't, a double tap on a Croquet is legal, and when the balls are close together, you can use that information to get both balls out of bounds close to each other with no deadness. You got to be a little careful about a beveled edge in that situation, though, and maybe I should have called a referee for that one. Yellow passed out of turn, which of course is the same as playing out of turn. And black hit a second out of turn. About here, we realized that something was wrong. So black went back to where it was. Red passed, and black shoots in turn this time. An indifferent shot. Blue is for 1 back, and black is for 3. And yellow is for 2, and red is for 3. The rush is less than ideal, so I could join up with blue, but then I'm 2 turns away from getting anything going. So I elect to hassle Walt at hoop 2 instead. Blue has a dolly rush either to 1 back or to these 2 balls. That's probably why he's not going to give red a rush to its hoop. Whoops. Walt cleared his only deadness after I made one back. That time it was intentional. What a shot. Those are my Dawsons we're playing, and I made the stripes wider than usual because I've heard so many non-American AC players complain that it's hard to tell the solids from the stripes at a distance if the stripe is oriented so you can't see it directly. An attack gone wrong. Maybe he'll take the hoop shot instead. But leaving red at 3 would be crazy because black plays next. Black is 4-3 and has an easy shot on blue, and then yellow to get a break going. So, continue with the ball-to-ball with the danger ball, or go to the west boundary and set up something for blue at 2 back. That could have been aimed a little bit better. And that was pathetic. He thought about shooting at blue and black, but let me off the hook. It should be obvious, but giving blue a rush to its hoop with black would be a risk not worth taking since I'm so far ahead at this point. That caused another out of turn sequence, which I edited out. Black's for 6, blue is for 2 back. Blues for 2, everybody's clean. I probably should have considered at least taking on the deadness of black on blue to get both of those balls out of bounds. Hitting a big pass roll here to put red over by hoop 3 while he's going to blue with yellow is a consideration, but it's not easy to control where red ends up in that situation. He needs to get something going, so he's considering picking up black out of the corner. And I like the way he keeps yellow ball in hand, if you will, guarding against a wrong ball fault when he puts it back down for the croquet shot. So black ended up by hoop 5 in that split shot. And yellow's now opponent dead and joins back up. That was the red ball hitting the tripod. Blue's on the south boundary to take advantage of any mishap at hoop 4 or 5 and to prepare for 2 back. But it's the spent ball, and it's a little vulnerable to being set up for a break with yellow.
Where's the yellow clip? It's on Prairie.
Black can be left out because yellow's opponent dead. Red and yellow are partner dead, and we must be getting awfully close to last turns. That's the yellow ball from the solid game. Yellow is actually for 3. I think he put yellow at 4 in case red gets something going and can use it to continue a break after he makes hoop 4. And it looks like yellow may have been first ball in last turns. Technically, in last turns, I should get both balls out of bounds now. Because if I stuff this, red may even have a double target. But I couldn't resist. There's a bit of a trade-off involved here. Put them both on the south boundary to make the hit-in more difficult, i.e. at 90 degrees. Or put, say, blue on the west boundary, which gives him an oblique shot on the boundary, which is a little bit easier, but then the rush is a lot harder to get. I obviously chose option 1. So a straightforward 14-5 win over Walt Janitz, an established veteran on the comeback trail.